Welcome in, everyone, to another edition of the Platform Podcast, Expose the Unexposed, West Georgia, East Alabama edition. I'm your scout here, Thrift Beringer, and one of the hosts and voices of DR7, of course, the platform. Thank you to On the Mark Show and On the Mark for the national scout for the Platform Podcast for allowing me to cover all the teams from around this area, which I'm excited to talk about here today. Thank you also to Jeremy Hayes and Jonathan Mumphrey, their vision of shining a light on all these athletes, teams, and coaches I love being a part of. And we have a great show in store for you here today. I'm going to talk about the top 10 teams from around our area and then top 8 players who have had sensational seasons. We're almost done. 2 more weeks of the regular season is here. When November starts, playoffs are around. So season is almost to an end, and I cannot believe high school football is already over for 2025. All right, top 10 teams. Number 10, Opelika, good season for them. They're 6-3. They still have a chance to make the playoffs. Problem is the top 3 teams make it, and Auburn and Central are above them right now. So they want to be able to hold on. They don't want to hold off Carver Montgomery, who's really good, Enterprise. But Opelika is a really good team at 6-3. Auburn, 7-2. They've done a great job this season and being able to hold off some of the great teams around in their region. Again, their only losses this year are to Central, who's the number 1 team on this list and who is the number 1 team in their region. Their quarterback, Casey Myers, has been excellent. They throw the ball all over the field, unlike last year when they had Omar Mabson and they ran over everyone. But their only losses are to Vestavia Hills and to Central. They take on Dothan this Friday night. All right, numbers 8, Callaway, 6-2. Coach Wiggins' team's got 2 games that I think they're going to dominate. They take on Jackson coming up, and Jackson is a very winnable game for them. So I expect Callaway to go to 7-2 against Jackson. And then they go on the road, the Behemoth. They take on an undefeated Morgan County team who's undefeated in the region, undefeated overall. Cannot wait for that one next Friday. That is Callaway coming in at number 8. Number 7, the Brookstone Cougars. The Cougars 7-2. They were undefeated. They had an incredible season. Their loss to the number 1 team in the GIAA, Stratford. And then, of course, the second loss was just this past week to a really good Westfield school. When we do our rankings, because we got private and public involved, we try to say, how is your roster compared to other rosters within your league? What's your strength of schedule compared to others in your league? And how dominant are you within your league? What's the chance you have to win a championship within your league? Because we can't compare, it's hard to compare a public and a private, a 7A public and a private school. So how do we rank all these teams? And they're all different classifications. Well, that's how we do it. So number 7, Brookstone, they still have a chance to win, I think, a GIAA state championship. Did kind of take a hit this past Friday night, losing to Westfield. Glenwood, the Gators, back-to-back region champs. They're 7-2 in 3A classification of Alabama and the AHSAA. The Gators look like a team that could potentially make a deep playoff run. They're led by their quarterback, Jalen Stanley, and they have been absolutely sensational this year. Number 5, Russell County, undefeated, and they lost their region championship to Pike Road at home. Took a major hit. I don't think Russell County has what it takes to win it all this year, but they'll win 9 games in the regular season. 9-1 is not too shabby, and I think this team has what it takes to maybe make a deep playoff run. Bryson Riggins got 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, but it's really been the running back of Chris Lucas has been great. They take on Rehoboth and then Beauregard these last 2 weeks of the regular season. LaGrange lost a classic against rival Troup County. Their only 2 losses are against 2 undefeated teams in the top 3 of the GHSA 3A classification, Troup County and Sandy Creek. So LaGrange 7-2, they're going to make the playoffs, and I would not want to play them. I don't care if I'm hosting them or not. They are an elite team. Coach Napier has got a really good program over there. Undefeated defending champion Carver looks like a team that is one of the favorites in 2A. Morgan County and Callaway also in 2A. So interesting with them. Pierce County, Chris, some really good schools that are going to be vying for that championship. At Carver, the defending champion, they're going to be the prohibited favorite. They beat Sumter County 2 weeks ago in a classic 8-7 back-and-forth brawl that was in the rain. And it was ugly. The field was wet and not in great condition, and Carver was able to go on the road and win that against a hostile environment in Sumter County. And then number 2, Troup County, undefeated. They take on they got an easy game this week because next week They will be at home against number 2 Sandy Creek. Holy smokes. Both these teams in the same region, too. It's going to be undefeated, region championship on the line, supremacy in the state on the line, and I cannot wait. We're going to be broadcasting that, a part of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And then number 1 team, the Central Red Devils, 8-1, and they dominated Auburn. They've dominated Opelika. They have taken care of business against everyone on their schedule. Their only loss is to IMG Academy, and we know how good IMG Academy is and how many 5-stars they have on their roster. Central looks like a 7A team that could win it all this year. Coach Nix has done an amazing job. Cam Coleman's little brother, Bobby Coleman, is leading the team as the quarterback position, but the defense has been lights out. So number 10, Opelika. Number 9, Auburn. Number 8, Callaway. Number 7, Brookstone. Number 6 is the Glenwood Gators. Number 5, Russell County Warriors. Number 4, LaGrange Grangers. Number 3, Carver. Number 2, Troup County. And number 1 is the Central Red Devils. All right. So now we're going to do our top 8 players. Again, top 8 players who have had the best season so far in our area. Number 8, Harrison Baker. He leads Brookstone in sacks. He is second on the team in tackles and looks every bit like a guy that could win GIAA Defensive Player of the Year. He's even having to overcome injuries, playing with a cast, a daggum glove on his hand, and he's been lights out. DJ Colvin, running back for Pacelli, is a few yards away from hitting 1,000. He will be one of the first running backs in Pacelli in the last several years that have had over 1,000 yards. He's one of the top rushers in our area right now, and DJ Colvin has been sensational for Coach Smitty Grider and team, and he's been a staple, him and Cam Carino. And DJ, again, about to hit the 1,000-yard mark. He is averaging over 120 yards per game. That is incredible. Over 980 through 9 games. Lavasco, Williams, Kendrick. They were my surprise team this year. Lavasco has been great. He's almost at 1,000 yards. Kendrick's 4-4 this year. This is a perennial team in the last 20 years that has not had many winning seasons. They have not had any 500 seasons this late in the year. And, Coach, congratulations to Coach Mayo and the Kendrick Cherokee. And Lavasco Williams is a big part of that. Number 5, Jalen Stanley. All right, Jalen Stanley for the Glenwood Gators wasn't even the starting quarterback this year. That was Trey Clarity. He gets hurt in the first game of the season, and all Stanley's done is thrown 24 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's got over an 80% completion percentage. He's got a QBR that is through the roof, and he's got the Gators as region champs, 7-2, and they're going to host multiple rounds in the playoffs and could make a deep playoff run. Jalen Stanley in year 1 as a senior to come in after the original starting quarterback got hurt. He has been a lights out leading this team, and it's nothing easy about what he's had to do with the Gators. Number 4, Chris Lucas. He's been great. He has been the epitome of why Russell County was undefeated going into this week. It's the running game. He's averaging over 6 yards a carry, over 800 yards already this year. He's averaging a little over 100 yards a game. I expect him to get over 1,000 as well. Lucas has been great. He's got 10 touchdowns. He leads the team in touchdowns. Tristan Gibbons single-handedly won from Carver the game against Sumter County. Multiple sacks. He had almost a forced fumble, a fumble recovery. The guy was just all over the place. He did the same thing in the week before as well against Shaw. Tristan Gibbons is by far one of the best players in the state, and he is going to Texas A&M. I've been so impressed by him. And, again, he had a lull, which he missed 2 or 3 games this year because of injury, and he's bounced back and looks better than ever. And I'm glad for that, and I hope he finishes out the season strong. Tristan Lyles from Central, unblockable defensive lineman. And Central has dominated Auburn. They won by 36-0. They beat Opelika 42-6. Central's only loss was IMG Academy, and it's going to be between, I think, them and Thompson, who's going to win it all this year in the 7A classification. And I think the best player in our area has been Garrison Edwards. This guy is just he can run, he can pass, he's got the pedigree. When you think the moxie, when you think of a quarterback, he's a great leader. He is everything you think when you think of a guy that can lead your championship. He's not a game manager. He's a playmaker. He is Troup County Tigers. He is the most important player on this team, and he has turned Troup County into what was a really good team to maybe the best team in 3A and winning a state championship. Garrison Edwards averages 92.4 yards on the ground. He's at 739. I think he gets these next 2 weeks over 1,000 yards. He's also thrown for over 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. This team has run for over 2,000 yards on the season. But Garrison Edwards has just been an absolute beast. He has 12 rushing touchdowns too, so 25 total touchdowns for Garrison Edwards. He has been great, and I can't wait to see him go against Sandy Creek in 2 weeks. It should be a lot of fun. So we have Harrison, and these are in no particular order. Harrison Baker from Brookstone, defensive prowl and just been dominant. DJ Colvin, almost 1,000 yards for Pacelli, running back, who really caught everyone by surprise and has been an excellent addition to the Pacelli Vikings. Number 6, Lavasco Williams from Kendrick, another really good running back. Jalen Stanley from Glenwood, he's been the most efficient passer, and he's got the most touchdowns out of anyone in our area. Touchdown passes at 24 on the year, and they still have one more game. I think he gets to 27 or 28, which may break a Glenwood record. Chris Lucas comes in at number 4. Remember, Stanley wasn't even the starting quarterback at the beginning of the season. Chris Lucas comes in at number 4, the running back from Russell County. I think he's going to have 15 touchdowns on the year and over 1,000 yards. He'll be an all-region and all-state player. Gibbons, same thing, all-state, all-region, defensive end from Carver, defensive end from Central, Tristan Lyles. Both these guys are going to play at the D1 Power 5 level, Group of 4 level now, Power 5 level, excuse me. And then number 1, Garrison Edwards. I will say he's number 1 because he's been the best player in this era. Well, thank y'all so much for watching. I can't wait for next week. We'll talk about who's in the playoffs, who's not in the playoffs, who are some of those team players that are looking to sign, who are some of the guys that are coming up and getting their stars from 3 to 4 and making moves. We'll talk about all that next week on the East Alabama, West Central Georgia edition of the Platform Podcast, Expose the Unexposed. I'm Thrift Beringer. We'll see you next time.